Hey you guys, welcome back to Michael Clarida Arts. I am, of course, Michael Clarida. So today I'm going to be doing something that I've done many times in the past, and that is review of a product. If you clicked on this particular video, you know what we're going to be reviewing, and you also know that I love getting into product design, reviewing products for different companies, going through the ins and outs as it applies to artists and illustrators, digital artists, so on and so forth. So today we're going to be reviewing two products in the same video, and it's manufactured by a company by the name of Huion. I did a review of a product a while back of one of their tablets, and it turned out to be just a bangaroo kind of a product, and I really enjoyed it overall. And they decided, since that video was a success, to go ahead and let me review a couple other products. Today we're going to be reviewing the Kamvas 12. It's a drawing tablet, display tablet that you hook up to a computer, a host computer, and you draw directly on the screen. The previous tablet that I reviewed was not a display tablet, but I still loved doing the review. Anyway, I am primarily a display tablet person. I worked for years and years on the drawing tablets, the kind that's, connect to a host machine and they don't have a screen on it, but you still draw on them. And those work fantastic. But I have transitioned probably about 15 to 17 years ago to display tablets. And I still utilize those other tablets quite a bit in my professional work, but I'm primarily display tablet. And Huion said, yeah, we'd love to have you just, review one of our display tablets. I am also going to be reviewing their mini key dial remote. I am a huge fan of quick key remotes. I've used quite a few in my professional work, and transitioning from different machines, whether it be PCs to Macintosh. I love quick key remotes because you create your own little quick keys that are like macros, and it's really fast whenever your workflow is really fast whenever you pair this with a device and whatever program that you decide to use, and you hit those quick keys, and that muscle memory is there. As an artist and illustrator with over 22 years of experience, 23 years of experience, I've got muscle memory in my brain, in my hand, in my body, and whenever I draw, I literally need that muscle memory to be executed to have my workflow go efficiently. So they said, yeah, we'll go ahead and send you the mini key dial to see what you think. We're going to do this just the same as I do a lot of the other reviews. And this is one of the reasons why I had somebody ask me, why are your review videos so daggum long? Because first of all, I try to cover all the bases that the manufacturer wants me to cover. So I cover the unboxing, I cover the review process, the details of the machine, and then I do just a standard line test. And then on my channel, I go that huge leap forward where I actually use the product to create an illustration. So many other videos and so many other users on YouTube will get the product and they'll just do a dip, just a slight dip. And I remember having to watch 5, 7, 10 videos before I finally got a grasp of what exactly the machine that I was looking at purchasing could do. And it was frustrating, right? You go to all these videos, you spend your time 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes sometimes, and they don't really get into the overall fit and finish, the quality, the presentation. They don't get into just how the device feels. And that's what we're going to do today. It's important for me as a YouTuber and also an illustrator and artist to convey all of the details of the piece of technology that I'm reviewing and make sure that you understand that if it applies in a good way to an artist environment and workflow, then of course I'm going to recommend it. If it does not, then I don't like really bashing products, but I won't recommend it, and I won't recommend that you move forward with that purchasing process. I haven't run into too many products, especially in today's tablet market, because in today's tablet market, a lot of the companies have shared technology, and there's like an evolution and a revolution of different digital tablets coming out. that the fit and finish and the quality is fantastic. You know, it used to be Wacom was the top of the heap, you know, and you would pay that ultimate price point. Now you have the other companies that are coming up, and the technology is just as good. The pressure sensitivity is just as good. They've got bonded and laminated screens. They've got quick keys. They've got 2K, 4K screens. They've got touch. They've got warranties. They've got battery less pin technology. And you can't say that, you know, one company is really that much better than others. And where you really need to do your research is look in between the lines. You look in between fit and finish, you know, quality and packaging and experience and customer service and access to those customer service entities. And it's important that you understand as a consumer that whenever you put your dollars out there, especially as an artist, you want a huge return, right? Huge. You know, you spend $200, $300, $400, $500, you want it to last at least 3 to 5 years, I would think, on a daily basis, daily using. And that might be a high standard, but that's, you know, from my viewpoint, I spend the money, I want to be able to get that return on my investment over and over again. And, you know, that creates brand and customer loyalty. So hopefully, you know, based on my experience with Huion, they've been fantastic, great customer service. I haven't had any issues with their previous tablet. And we're going to move into the Huion Kamvas 12 and the Huion Speed Mini Key Dial. I say Speed Mini Key Dial. There's no speed. It's just the mini key dial, cordless. So let's go ahead and get into the unboxing. All right, and here is the remote. So this is how it arrived. Let's go ahead and get to unboxing. You guys know, if you visited my channel before, that I am a huge fan of good packaging. The process of unboxing sometimes can be tedious, but overall I think that there is a reason behind an unboxing. It is to reveal to you guys what is in the packaging, and so there's no surprises. So here it is, the Huion Mini Key Dial. The Mini Key Dial KD100 has a wireless connection, also has a USB-C interface. It has a dial and customizable keys that you can pair with the driver that you install on your machine. Huion, what an interesting company. You know, they're part of the current kind of wave of price-conscious companies that really are pushing the envelope of technology and quality. You know, you have your Wacom, you have your XP Pen, you have your Huion, and then you have the peripheral companies that are coming up like Timelapse and some of those other companies that are, again, pushing that envelope of technology. And Huion's been around a while. You know, their products have been around a while. I've seen them, a lot of the students that I taught in college use Huion, as well as Wacom and XP Pen. So definitely Huion is a company to be considered. So inside the packaging, I have the unit itself that's enclosed in a static-free bag. Then we have the quick start guide. It looks like there is a rechargeable, or a cable for recharging the device, since it is a wireless, which I'm sure it has a rechargeable battery, which it does. It's all enclosed. Some of the other products out there have batteries, which is fine. Either one works, just as long as it works. I don't really care. And then, of course, you have the dongle, which you plug into the side of your device to promote wireless connectivity, if that's what you so desire. Let's look at the unit overall. So the plastic quality is really good. You see the tampo print right there. Actually, it's not a tampo print. It looks like it lights up, so that's pretty cool. And then you have the key dial right here, and then you have the button in the center. Flip it over to the back. Let's go ahead and get rid of the packaging itself. The packaging itself, the quality of the cardboard's really good. It's nice and thick, very indicative of high quality high quality cardboard. They didn't just slap something together. They definitely put some thought into that. And then you have it vacuum formed to the unit itself for protection. So I'm looking at the unit. The weight is really nice. It's got all the FOC warnings on the back, and then of course it's got the serial number that you register the warranty, I'm sure, and a DBOSS logo on the back, which is really nice. In addition, you have the 4 rubber pads at each corner to help promote gripping. Nothing frustrates me more than whenever you put it on a slanted surface and it slides. Of course, this does not do that. And it looks like a really high quality USB-C cable with a Velcro wrangler. I call these cable wranglers. So overall, fantastic unit. The quick start guide's probably self-explanatory. It gives you an indication of wireless mode, wired access mode. You can plug it into the side of your computer via the USB cable, and then you have the wireless mode, which you plug the dongle into the side. Then of course you want to install the driver, going to huion.com/download, which you install the driver and go through the prompts. Pretty simple, pretty easy, not too much you know, in terms of directions. Now I am looking on the keys itself, and I do see some arrows on those 4 keys, and you have some larger keys right here. We'll get into programming these. What's really cool though about this is the form factor. You know, some of the other devices that I've used in the past are confusing, and you know, you've got tons of different size shapes, or I'm sorry, different shapes of buttons. This one really looks like it is streamlined for the user. Looks like we've got a power button on the side and the USB-C input right there. Overall, like I said, the plastic quality is probably, I don't know, I mean, on a rating from 1 to 10, probably an 8 out of 10, with 10 being absolute perfection. I'm not seeing any seams that are jumping out to me, that are misaligned. It looks like a really high quality product, and it's got a textured surface, and it's not rubberized. How do you get to a 10? You just know 10 is probably equating to maybe a really high-end cell phone. The fit and finish, the quality, stainless steel, maybe titanium, and all those different materials. Now that's not practical in a device like this, but that's how you get to a 10. So just overall, it's got nice click. This is really cool. And it's got a button on the inside, on the center. And like I said, this does light up. So let's go ahead and click this. We're gonna hit that, yep, and it lights up. This is probably the pairing, and it shows that it's on. And it's got power. I didn't even plug this in for charging. So that's really convenient. So if I was out in the wild and I received this, or I purchased this, I could use it straight out of the box after installing the driver. So let's go ahead and move on to the next item. And here is the tablet. So this is how I received it, just in a browned box. Doesn't have any indications on the outside other than go ahead and recycle the box. And we flip it over and we show the made in China. I know this isn't really exciting, but you know, in terms of transparency, I want to make sure you guys know what you're getting if you order this particular tablet. Okay, so I went ahead and cut the tape here on the side. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can't get it out in one fell swoop. And here we go, the Kamvas 12. This is not the Pro model. However, you know, Huion did reach out and said, hey, we'd love you to review this particular tablet. This is probably their mid-range tablet. They make smaller ones. They make the drawing tablets that fit on the side, and this of course is a display tablet. And then they make the higher end tablets, the Pro models. So this is something that maybe a student might get, whether it's high school or a hobbyist, or somebody that you know, doesn't want to invest, you know, thousands of dollars into a tablet, but they want to go ahead and experiment a little bit with the digital genre. So the Kamvas 12, it shows powered by USB-C, over 8,000 levels of pressure sensitivity, 120% sRGB, color gamut, 60 degrees of tilt, and it shows and indicates the items that are inside the box. You have the tablet, the pen, the little donut which encapsulates the pen nibs. You have the tri-cable, you have the single cable, and of course the booklet. What's really nice about what Huion does, not only their box, and it shows the product with some artwork, and I love whenever they place artwork on here. That always makes me happy. Showcases what the tablet can do, and also the artist that created it. What I like about Huion is not only do they have the booklet, which a lot of times we don't look at the booklet, we just get the tablet, we just go to town. They actually, on the back, they show the different connection ports. So you have the tablet, and you've got this tri-cable, which is USB, HDMI, and the power, and that's a 3-in-1. Now, if you just so desire, and you have an Android device or a PC with just a USB-C cable, then they do provide the cables, the power cable, the USB-C that plugs right into the side of the machine, and it shows the tablet, Android tablet or phone. And of course, you have to go to the huion.com/download to get the driver. So let's go ahead and we'll cut the sealing tabs. Fit and finish of the box is fantastic. Printing is wonderful. The text is very easy to read, clear. I don't see any smudges, and overall, it's got a matte finish. That matte finish, it's not gripping, it's not rough, and you can see that they definitely spent some time on the box to give the customer, the end user, that perception of value. Nothing irritates me more. And we look inside, and I flipped it around, and look. So I know these are so trivial, little itty bitty items, little details, but you can see it's got quality control pass, a little sticker right here, and then you've got the little foam that protects the screen, which is right here, the star of the show. So we have the star of the show. You have over here on the left-hand side, you have the little box of goodies, which includes the USB, actually that's the power cable. And then you have that 3-in-1 cable. Okay. And then you have the unit itself, which is encased in a static-free bag. We'll put that right up here for the time being. And then we have these other items. What's nice about this device is it includes a stand, and we're going to go ahead and demonstrate that here in just a moment. But overall, and of course, this is interesting. So they include a CD. Actually, they don't. This is not a CD. This is it looks like a CD, but it's not. It just indicates some of the peripheral directives that you need to go ahead and do whenever you get this. As far as service, download the drivers, and they include a static lint-free cloth so you can clean the screen, and a glove. I love whenever they include gloves. Of course, here is the donut, which, let's go ahead and open this. Open this up, and lo and behold, inside you have the nibs and the nib remover. Again, I talk about perception of value. There's a textured surface right here, which is really cool. You unscrew it, and inside there's a rubberized, grippy material that helps you whenever you go and retrieve the nibs. This also acts as a pen stand, so whenever it sits on your desk, it holds your pen, and on the bottom there is a rubberized grippy ring that doesn't allow it to slide. All these things, me being a product designer, I think about these things whenever I open a product, and I try to get into the head of the designer, because they're thinking about the end user. And then we have this debossed logo, again, Huion, to remind you what product you have. And we'll go ahead and open the pen, if I can get in there. I'm not a huge fan of that sound, that plasticky sound, but I know it's necessary. So the pen itself, very nice. You can see some of the seams from the molding, which again, it reads a little bit, not super high-end, but kind of in the mid-range budget-wise. This really isn't that expensive of a tablet, but the high quality and the value is there. So you have 2 buttons, programmable, I perceive, and then you have, it is batteryless, so you don't have to worry about having a battery in it. And then you have the deboss logo right here, and it is flat, so when it is on a flat surface, it doesn't seem like it'll roll. So that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get the rest of the device rolling. I am interested in these two because I'm looking at these two, and I looked on the back of the box, and this looks like a power cable, and this looks like the 3-in-1 cable. I'm gonna have to open these. Maybe there's 2 cables in here, because I'm looking for just a standard USB-C cable. It doesn't look like it has that. It does have the 3-in-1. So let's go ahead and put these down. I'm gonna go ahead and unbox this. This is the stand. This is something that you don't see in the mid-range tablets. You know, I've reviewed quite a few tablets, and honestly, I don't think one of them has included a stand. I think one of them, made by XP Pen, had the stand built in, but this being a stand that you could just throw in your bag is very nice, and it supports the tablet, so it's got a little lip that folds out, and you pull up. Looks like you pull up on this, and it comes up, and you have the different levels which you can set the tablet on, and we'll do that here in just a moment. I just want, and it is aluminum. It feels rather stout and heavy, and these look like they're, yeah, looks like they're magnets possibly. No, it just goes in. Okay. So very nice stand, not cheap at all. And again, it's got the rubber pads on the back, which again, it doesn't allow it to slide. So this is a very nice unit. You could use this on multiple Huion products, I'm sure, not only on this particular tablet, but on other tablets as well. And it shows you the user manual, and it shows you exactly how to open it, how to utilize it, if you can't figure that out on your own. Put this to the side, and we're going to open up the tablet itself. All right. Weight, not too heavy, not too light. It doesn't feel cheap. I can definitely determine and discern whenever I feel something cheap and budget-minded. Let's go ahead and open this. Okay. Very nice. Wow. Overall quality, fit and finish. I'm seeing even seams. I'm not seeing any bowing. I'm not seeing any misaligned buttons. Overall fit and finish. Let's go ahead and flip it over. There's that deboss logo again with 4 rubber pads. See, if this is what happens on a 45-degree angle, whenever you don't have the rubber pads, it slides. But since I have it flipped over on the screen, I would expect that. And here's the connector for the 3-in-1, and of course the USB-C connector that you can plug into your phone. I'm sure if you have a device, an Android device, you do have a charge cable, and you could utilize that just to plug that in and power it up. So here's the screen protector, the anti-glare film. It says the anti-glare film has already been installed. Please remove the screen protector before using. So we go from a shiny over to anti-glare. So you can definitely see that the application of the anti-glare film, I honestly can't, oh yeah, I can up there barely. I was gonna say I can't even see the application. A lot of times they will use a spray and it will etch. There's etching, glass etching, but this is just an applied film. So there's the logo. Like I said, good quality, good size. This is a 12-inch tablet. So this, like I said, this is a good starter tablet. For those of you who are interested in getting into digital art, maybe you've been a traditionalist a while and you don't want to break the bank, let's go out on the website and I'm going to look at what this particular tablet costs in comparison to some of the other ones in the marketplace. So this kind of concludes the, the unboxing. the unboxing, but what I am going to do really quick, just because I want to see what it looks like and see how it rolls. If I can get down here and get this. So here is the stand. Let's go ahead and remove the tablet really quick, and we're going to flip this up, and we're going to open this up. Let's go down. Let's go right here. So this is probably one of the cooler things that I've experienced from these companies, is the fact that it did include a stand. Okay. Wow. We'll grab our trusty pen. That's about the angle that I would utilize it at, right there. Just by placing the nib on here on this textured surface, it doesn't slide like super fast. I can definitely feel the textured surface, which is really nice. Very similar to drawing on paper. And these these buttons over here on the left-hand side of your quick keys. So whenever you're drawing, you can program these along with the pen buttons, the rocker pen buttons, to have different functions and macros inside of the program, like Photoshop, Illustrator, some of those other programs. So let's go ahead and visit the website. We're going to see what this costs, and we're going to kind of price compare. Then we're going to download the driver, and we're going to get busy drawing. So let's get started. Here it is all set up. So what I'm going to do is I visited Amazon.com to give you context and pricing. So currently, as of today, which is September 27th, 2022, the Huion Kamvas 12 graphics drawing tablet is $199, and it looks like it's on sale. Save an extra 20 bucks. You could actually make it, get it for a little bit less. So that's really cool. And you see, it does come in different colors. I didn't know that. That's really neat. Okay, different colors. Pretty cool. Comes in orange and black, which is pretty awesome. So then we come over to the Huion website, and we look at the different models. Of course, they show the different models, and you can price compare. And the different features. I've selected the Kamvas 12, which is what this is. Indicates two colors that are available, Starfish Orange and Cosmo Black. We did indicate earlier the rich colors for the screen, the vibrant and rich colors brought by 120% of sRGB. Moving down, it's got a full laminated screen, so you're not going to see any parallax. The distance between the tip of the pen and the actual LCD screen is almost minimalistic, so it's bonded. And then we come up to the upgraded digital pen experience, the PenTech 3.0, which again is batteryless, and the lead-in's really quick. Over 8,000 levels of pressure sensitivity, 60 degrees of tilt, 8 programmable keys. So we have 3, 3, and 2 right here, and it's compatible with Mac OS and Windows. And then you compare and you go up a little bit. Let's look at, let's go back. So one of the things that I always like to do is compare to things that are very similar. So the Kamvas Pro the Kamvas Pro 12 has pretty much everything the Kamvas does, and then we get to 24 customized express keys and 1 touch bar. So the touch bar, let's go ahead and see if I can't scroll in. Yeah. So it's got a touch bar right here, which is really cool. And then of course you can scroll through this at your leisure. Just go to Huion.com and you can see what is up. And as far as downloading their drivers, it was really easy. I just clicked on this, I selected the unit that I have, I went down and I downloaded the drivers, and lo and behold, here's the driver interface, and here's the tablet. And I can adjust many different things, from the digital pen sensitivity to here's a sensitivity adjustment, and I can do it via the programs and save a profile, which is really cool. And of course, if I want to purchase something, I can do it right from the driver interface, which is awesome. So it looks like currently this particular tablet is $199. Like I said, you could probably get a coupon, and there's different sales throughout the duration of the year that Huion puts on. So you could probably pick this definitely up for under $200. Retail, I believe, is just over $200. So then you can go into the display and you can program these keys right here, which is pretty awesome. And then this particular driver supports this unit right here. This unit, of course, as per the unboxing, is the quick key remote, and it's got a myriad of different features, from the scroll wheel right here to the wireless technology. And if you look over here on the left hand side, you can see that I have it plugged into my Anchor USB-C dongle. So this plugs in, and I can plug in a myriad of different things here. And I'm using the 3-in-1 cable from this device via the HDMI cable, and then you have the USB, and then here's the dongle. So a lot of people now with the new computers don't have standard USB or HDMI. You have to get one of these dongles. But I'm really excited. So I've already gone in and I've pre-programmed things as per my workflow. So we'll go back. Here's the mini key dial. So you can see I've actually plugged in Photoshop, and I've pre-programmed things in, and it's so easy to do. I mean, and you can have different sensitivities for the dial. You can have it sleeping after 15-20 minutes so it doesn't run the battery down. You can adjust the brightness of the LED right here, so again, that doesn't run the battery down, so we can have, you know, a little bit less here and there. Anyway, so I don't want to focus on that. Again, here's the little quick link to the store. So let's get out of that, and we go into Photoshop. My first impression, since I've already started toying around with the tablet a little bit, first of all, the color saturation is fantastic. This is full HD. So we're gonna go, I'm gonna look to see exactly what the resolution is. So let's go over to display resolution. So currently, this particular machine up here, which is a Surface Laptop Studio, is 2400 by 1600. This device is 1920 by 1080 full HD, and what I've done, just so I have the same resolution and the same scaling, I have this monitor up here at 1920 by 1080. So just so you can see, and now we go into Photoshop, and File, New, Create. Yes, create a layer. I'm using Photoshop today primarily because a lot of people do use Photoshop, and it is kind of that industry standard. And even though I have a myriad of other programs, and this particular device does support those programs, I just wanted to make sure and do something that everybody can relate to. Okay, so I haven't used the remote that much, but I do have it programmed into my standard, the way that I do my quick keys with my left hand. Here's my first impression. First, the lead-in, meaning the lead-in and the distance between the screen and the edge, and where the sensor picks it up, is probably about ½ an inch. That's important because whenever you're drawing and and you lift your pen up, a lot of times you don't want false positives, and they've determined that distance between the screen and the edge of the pen to be exactly what it needs to be. It's not too far and it's not too short. And one of the big things that I always tell people whenever drawing on tablets is, first, you need to go ahead and draw exactly how you would normally. You don't want to modify your drawing style to cater to the particular tablet. You want the tablet to morph and be adjusted to you. So I've gone in and I've adjusted pressure sensitivity. I've adjusted quite a few things to really cater to the way that I draw, from the pressure to the sensitivity to the different programs, the quick keys. And Huion, the interface of the driver really catered towards ease of use. I didn't have to go in and watch a tutorial to learn how to do things. That's important because, you know, in the midst of me doing a lot of things and whatnot, it's not that I don't have time to do those things. I'm wanting the program to really alleviate some of those really hard, you know, the hard learning curves that occur whenever you buy one of these devices. And Huion has definitely thought about just about everything so far. It has been fantastic. So as you see, the sensitivity is absolutely phenomenal, and a lot of people do line tests. So we're going to go ahead and zoom in. Okay, so I'm going to do a line test for you guys. This is sort of a, I guess, a YouTube standard. It's not anything scientific, but a lot of times it does show some of the flaws that happen in the software or the hardware, and it exposes some of the little details that I think a lot of times if you draw fast, you might overlook. So, you know, let's go ahead and we'll, okay, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, using a semi-textured brush. Here's my ruler. So let's go ahead and we'll draw horizontally and vertically and diagonally. So you see there is a little bit of wiggle, and I think a lot of that is attributed to the friction of my hand, my gloved hand, on the surface of the tablet. And we'll go back in, we'll zoom in a little bit more. And I don't have any line smoothers or anything on there right now. I'm very conscious of that. The pressure curve is really good. It's got good lead in. So I've got the taper on right now on this particular brush. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of pressure here, so it doesn't fall off. What would happen if it was bad is you would see breaks in areas like this, but this particular tablet has great transition from very light pressure to very heavy pressure to tapering off to light pressure. And then of course, if you look in here, you see that nice little taper that goes off right here. Also, you know, here, we'll do this really light. I don't know what the pound, like really light, and you're seeing really good pressure. So we're gonna go ahead and zoom in just so you guys can see. So this is my line without a ruler. So you can see a little bit of wiggle, but what I'm looking for is if you would see stuff like this. And the consistency, if you see valleys and peaks like that, if you saw stuff like that, that is a red flag. And the reason why is because the digitizer, right? The digitizer would be having issues. A big problem with some of the old in-trig technology from Microsoft is you would see those valleys, and that was really the flaw of that particular machine. So let's go ahead and grab the ruler. Okay, this is my trusty handy-dandy metal ruler that has a super straight edge. And we're going to draw, if I can. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back. Okay. So you can see the difference between here's my hand and here is the absolute straight edge that is the ruler. Let me go ahead and change brushes. I'm not really digging this particular brush. Let's go to the general brushes. Hard, round, pressure, size. There we go. So let's make that a little bit smaller. We're going to grab the ruler again. We're going to do a horizontal. We're going to do a vertical. And we're going to do a diagonal. So, as you can see, There's no wiggle. Let's be honest, there's no wiggle. I mean, even if I was being super picky, I can't even discern whether or not there's any kind of wiggle at all. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So, that being said, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get into the drawing. Now, I kind of hesitated doing the line test, especially because I don't draw that way. You know, in Illustrator, you know, being a vector program, you would probably utilize Illustrator in such a way, you know, to vector something using those vector points. And if it had a wiggle, then that would be a problem. But in Photoshop, I mean, I'm sitting here drawing, I'm turning and burning, going really fast. I don't ever really have an issue whenever it comes to wiggle. I personally didn't have a huge issue with the wiggle inside of the Surface products and the Intrig technology, because I do draw pretty quick. Now, in those instances where I did get really small, I did use a line smoother. So this machine, this particular device, the Huion Kamvas 12, has no, that I can tell, no wiggle at all in the line. So that has been taken care of. So let's go ahead and get into the drawing. Okay, and here's where I'm at right now. So what I like to do, and I explain this in a lot of the other videos that I do, is once I get my line down, which is on a separate layer here in Photoshop, as you can see, what I like to do is I block in the color. Most of the time I will use different programs such as Clip Studio Paint or Sketchbook Pro, but today I just decided to go ahead and use Photoshop for ease of explanation. Photoshop works in layers. I'm not going to explain how to use Photoshop today, but I'm just going to explain to you how I layer manage. So I work from the back forward, similar to how I shoot photographs. So I think in terms of subject and focal plane being the distance from my eye to the subject. So this particular subject, of course, being the mouse that is in, in a field, mouse/squirrel, it's a rodent. And I want him to be in focus. So that's basically what I've done, is I put him right in the middle. You can see my layers. See over here on the right-hand side. You can see, I'll go ahead and hide the background. There's the clouds. There's the background rock. And then we move forward, and we start moving forward. And what that's going to do is allow me to adjust the focal plane and what I want blurry, what I want to be in focus, the amount of detail that I want you to focus on as a viewer. And ultimately, I am in control of everything that the viewer is going to be really focusing on. Now, right now, you see the background elements, such as some of these leaves, and they're in rough. And even the clouds, the detail right here that I'll end up getting rid of, the line work. So I can go in basically and I can edit these elements to push and pull your focus where I really want it to be. Now, I explain sometimes, you paint by numbers. Paint by numbers meaning, oh, here's a color, this corresponds to a number, and then you're going to go ahead and put in that corresponding color according to the number. And that's kind of a layman's way of explaining. I'm just basically putting in something called local color. Local color is something that doesn't have any light or shadow on it, and that is the base of the item that you're illustrating. So the squirrel is brown. Now there's going to be intricacies involved in rendering him, but right now local color is just something that I block in, and this gives me an overall spectrum of where I want the color to be. There's a lot of greens, and as the colors go back into the distance, they're going to get less saturated because they're further away, and the closer that the grass is and the elements, they're going to be more saturated, more contrast, and darker. So these are just some of the elements in my brain that I use whenever I'm quote-unquote illustrating and colorizing an image. And what's nice about Photoshop is I can go in and I can go on that specific layer, and I can just work on that layer. Right, so if I want to go in and let's select the local color. That's what color the background is. And it's not going to affect any of the other layers because I'm on this particular layer right here. So if I want to go ahead and use, okay, so let's do this. We're going to go back. And here's my brush. Okay, it's my soft shading brush. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on pressure sensitivity, and you can see nothing happens because it's the same color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lighten this just a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to turn that taper off, what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to enlarge the brush, and we're going to go full screen, and I'm just going to go ahead and lighten that horizon somewhat. Just a little bit. Now we're getting a little bit of a defect here in the video card, so we're going to keep it right here. Here we go. And again, I'll go back. I'll use my eyedropper. I'll select and I'll make this just a wee bit darker. And again, I'll come back. And what I'm doing is I'm starting to put in some of those elements in terms of lighting that really are dynamic. So, and also you'll see me zoom in and out quite a bit because whenever I'm really close in, I can't get the overall feel of what the illustration is doing. So I'll go ahead and I'll zoom out, and I'll zoom far away because I want that quick read. I want to be able to read what I'm looking at. I want the eye to go in and out of the illustration and have movement and explain exactly what's going on. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense. I know sometimes it's a lot of gobbledygook, but there is a form. I don't want to say a formula because every illustration is going to be different. There is a kind of a pattern that I do things as well as other people, and a lot of times it's good to pick up on those little hints and tricks and tips and patterns to make your illustration flow a little bit more efficiently. A lot of times we get stuck, and that's not something any of us wants to do. But definitely, whoops, I don't want to do that. Okay, degree dust. Make sure I just didn't move. Okay, we're fine. All right, so I'm going to be doing the clouds, and I'm going to move progressively through the illustration, keeping you on time lapse, letting you see the development of your piece of art. Now, obviously, there's always room for a happy accident, right? Bob Ross, happy accidents, fun little trees, all of those things. So as I progress through, you'll see me change things, maybe edit things, change the lighting dynamic, maybe add a tree or two, maybe utilize some of the foliage brushes to really kind of focus your eye in on this right here. I'm not, some of the, how do I put this? Contrast really is that item that leads your eye. So this is going to be the area of maximum contrast. And as I go out, I will have less and less contrast. And eventually I'm going to have some, maybe some trees that are pointing in and pointing your eye to him, because this is where I want the story to be told. So let's put you guys back on time lapse. Hopefully that wasn't too distracting. As far as the tablet goes, the tablet has performed flawlessly. There has been nothing wrong with it at all. The pressure curve is fantastic. The tilt is fantastic. I really love the quick key remote, the key dial, and I'm literally just getting right into the workflow and not focusing on the tablet itself, because it's not inhibiting me from being creative. See, the only time the tablet really becomes an issue if it inhibits me from being creative. And right now, it is following all my commands. It is absolutely fantastic. And I have absolutely no complaints about anything pertaining to the tablet. So let's go ahead and get you on. Let's turn the smoothing off. I do not like smoothing on my brushes. Let's go ahead and get you moving into, we're creating clouds right now. See, again, I switch layers and I'm on that cloud layer, right? So I've got my cloud brushes and literally just having some fun. All right, putting that base layer down, that shadow layer, and we'll come back, we'll lighten just a little bit, making sure we don't have any transparency on, which we don't. And you see, again, I'm thinking back, forward. I'm thinking, how can I, the clouds kind of wispy up here. Back, forward. That's the same thing in painting. Whenever you paint something on a canvas, back, forward. Because you want that ability to look through the painting and into the painting. And working back, forward really helps that. Okay, so let you guys get back on time lapse and enjoy the process. All right. that concludes the drawing section of this particular review. So, what did I think about the Huion Kamvas 12? I think it's a winner. I think that you guys looking to add to your travel bag, or if you're a budding artist, digital artist, wanting to get into something a little more serious, this is a great companion for you to have. It's got all the features of the higher end tablets without the price. That's a bonus, right? And if you want to extend that experience, some of you who have been on the computer and you have that muscle memory, I highly recommend this particular device. This is the Huion Quick Key Dial. It is just, you can't really measure the value of something like this because you can transfer it among multiple machines. You can use it on multiple computers, and it basically replaces the keyboard on the left-hand side, and you can pre-program it for different programs, and it's just a joy to use. As far as hiccups go, I didn't have any. I can't complain, not one iota about this particular device. Not to mention, it comes with a stand, it comes with a glove, it comes with all of these wonderful little, doodads that they include in the packaging, from having the lint-free cloth and some of that other stuff. So overall, A++, can't complain at all. And I really am reaching to find something. We all as reviewers want to give the pros and cons, and this has so many pros, from the price to the fit and finish to the quality to the interface to the execution. I would definitely put this up against any higher echelon price pointed HD tablet. Some of those, it costs thousands of dollars. Those are practical for an in-studio situation, but whenever it comes to travel, this is going to be hard to beat. So it's not too big, it's not really too small. I usually use a really large canvas whenever I draw digitally, but this was just as good. So hopefully you guys didn't leave. I know it's a really long review. I do the long reviews because I want to make sure and cover all the bases, not only from unboxing to the driver installation, to the experience of what it's like coming in as a layman, somebody that doesn't know a lot about installing stuff. Everything was very clear. And, the fit and finish and the quality is definitely up there. I want to make sure and cover, and then I want to do a drawing to show you that this particular device is capable of high-end digital art. And it is. So, thank you guys. I know this has been a long video. My apologies for those of you who don't like the long videos. That's why I'm going to start putting the sections in the video. Here's where I start drawing. This is the unboxing. This is the wrap up. This is the, stuff like that. So those of you who are interested in the unboxing, and a lot of people aren't, we're going to go ahead and start doing that for you guys. So thank you guys for visiting the channel. Hopefully you liked the review, and give me a thumbs up and click that notification bell. It helps me out a lot. And we'll see you on the next one. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.